ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः मण्डूकमहर्षे गौडपादाचार्यवर्याय आद्य शंकर सद्गुरवे नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः अथ अथर्ववेदान्तर्गत माण्डूक्य उपनिषत् शान्तिमन्त्रः in the all devotion try ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गये स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ चतुर्थ अलाथ शान्ति प्रकरणम् Hari Om. Salutations to the Lord, to the Guru Parampara. We are in the study of Mandukya Upanishad. In that also, first Agama Prakaranam, second Vaitathya, third Advaita Prakaranam with Bhashya. Just we touched upon, we have browsed through, we have just seen the Vihanga Vikshana. Not that we have deeply, one by one word, sentence, thoroughly we studied and understood the standpoint from where the Paramaguru, Gaudapada, and our Karika, Gaudapada, Shankara, and Manduka Rishi, what they were meaning. But that needs that type of not only ability, stamina, but slowly that purity, maturity, and subtlety. Then only we'll be able to catch. And these are the ones we slowly gain through other upasanas, other anushtanas. Through all other upasana anushtana, we become qualified in our capacities, abilities. With them, these studies become more effective, meaningful. We are on the path. In the ALAATHA Shanti Prakaranam, the first portion tried its best to teach about the Ajatavada by taking the main two prominent opponents of Advaita Tattva. The Nyaya Vaisheshika one side, the Sankhyans other side. Both of them were talking about Jati or creation. Some said from nothing, others said from something. From nothing creation came, that is rejected by those who said from something creation came. And that is rejected by these people. And we enjoyed that both of them rejected creation. Therefore, what if there is Brahman alone, no creation? And how both of them rejected becomes totally the world becomes rejected, because the world should come from either something or from nothing. Both of them said neither coming from something or not nothing. What a conclusion, not coming only, the world. That is what taihi ajati stapitam taihi anubodhamayam natai sardam vivadamaha avivadam nibodhatah. That was the earlier mantras. Went on up to 45, 46 shloka. Same thing, which was the theme right from the first prakarana, Ekamevadvayam Brahma, Naiha Nana Asti. Though you are seeing, though you are contacting, though you are experiencing, though you are touching, yet it is not there. This is the challenge Karika Kara is throwing in front of us to understand with his Karikas. कि मैं अपना एग्जाम्पल लॉजिक दिया हूँ, उसको यूज करके क्या तुम आप लोग यू पीपल कैन कम टू माई लेवल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. What is it? Though you are watching, visualizing, experiencing, contacting the world, yet you are able to reject it that it is not at all there. This is the biggest challenge. Because that which is tentative, is it not? That which is proven by many people and not there, or that which is like the dream, which every day comes and while going through dream it appears to be real, but when we wake up, we know we are in different plane. Therefore, from this standpoint, that's not real. To reject all this is easy, but the jagat जो तुम्हारे सामने जागृत अवस्था में है, wherein everything is happening so smoothly, so systematically, so planned way, so substantially, so tangibly, so logically. See, is it not in the world? Everything is happening so logical, scientific. When we see that, so much of reality it gives to us. Oh, देखो the water in the sump up above, sump नहीं तो tank में, sump नीचे होता है. Pipes are connected. Pipe is to our washroom or basin. You just open that, water came. You close that, water is gone. How clearly it is seen. Turbines moved, hydroelectricity generated, sent through the wires, it has come to a meter, from that to every connection. Put on the switch, the light is glowing, fan is moving, put off, it is going. What a powerful logical thing you see it. Everything, eat food, the hunger is quenched. Thirst is quenched, hunger is removed when you drink, is it not? You are feeling the fever of the body, pain of the body. And really, when the medicine is given, the fever is reduced, pain is reduced. Your problem, you're going to the court, they are arguing, and they are giving us the solution, and that is many a time in our favor because we are right, yes. अब इतना निरंतर खुद के भी दूसरों के अनुभव इतने आ रहे हैं, हम देख रहे हैं, इतने अनुभव आ रहे हैं हमको. No, to be able to reject the entire this thing also as unreal, is it not a great challenge? The flights are flying, the trains are moving, the buses, cars are moving. Technological things, so much of happening. How can it deny? 100 crores lagake, they prepared a satellite, they have mounted it on the launcher, then they have sent it, and that rockets are moving, or the satellites in the thoda bhi orbit se खिसक गए सब because of the solar tufan there. And those hundreds of satellites which are there now in the horizon, man-made, which are going to be difficulty for the subtler things little later. इतना ज़्यादा भेजोगे तो टकराएंगे एक दूसरे को. But don't we see they are gone and they are sent and they are doing their works? तूफान आ रहा है, तबाही हो रही है, दिख रहा है हमको. भूकंप आ रहा है, तबाही हो रही है, दिख रहा है हमको. युद्ध कर रहे हैं लोग. I said, but that what is the Karika Kara standpoint here? Even all this also is unreal. And the biggest examples, the two things what he gives in the Agama and Vaitatya, only we have exhaustively studied. That has to be studied actually every day. These same things were there in dream also, but when we wake up, they were not there. No difference between dream and waking. They were waking also is like that. What is the second thing? The only difference in waking and dream is in the waking it is little solid. That doesn't make difference in the other logical thing. Another thing which he undeniable says is what? Whether in waking or dream, there is a duality of perception and perceived. Perceiver and perceived. Wherever perceived perception is there, it is unreal. That is the rule. Like it was unreal in the dream, perceived and perception. That's so when you wake up, the perceiver me also unreal, perceived also unreal. Usko कहते हैं wake up. So to the entire waking world में भी perception perceived is there, perceiver and perceived. And from the analogy of the dream, this is also unreal. क्या है ड्रीम में? ज्ञाता और ज्ञेय ना? या when you wake up, what is the position of jnata and gneya? Unreal. So what are you there now in this जागृत अवस्था? Nothing but ज्ञाता and gneya. That the ultimate level में ये भी नहीं है. They are the logics. There is a state of experience where his jnana gneya will not be there. Waking also is known and understood as a only dream, and that's the truth. Dream came from the waking world's vasanas. So to the waking world also came from vasanas only. If you remove all the vasana, there is no world. वासना नहीं है तो जीव नहीं है ना, जीव नहीं है तो देहेंद्र उपाधि नहीं है तो जगत क्या है? कौन से जगत में मैं भेजा जाऊंगा जो मेरे को जो वासनाएं खत्म होते हैं तो? If I have asana, then only I will be pushed into different parts of what are the different bodies. I am telling you, these were the logics used to deny to some extent the world worship. Here in the last portion of this Upanishad and the last and second portion of this fourth Prakarana, Alatha Shanti, one example of Alatha is taken, and all which were said in the earlier Prakaranas is trying to be established, confirmed finally, like a parting gift. Karika and Shankara Bhagwan, they want to give us. Whether you receive it or not, you open it or not, use it or not. क्योंकि लोग 20-20 साल भी कागज भी नहीं खोलते गिफ्ट का. अब आपके घर में कितने होंगे? Some people out of curiosity they subscribe for 3-4 magazines monthly. किसी किसी को खोलते भी नहीं होता, टाइम भी नहीं होता. In the same way, the knowledge. He is using the Alaatha Upamana example to explain what was shown so far. Out of his compassion is a parting gift. So you use it or not, they don't bother. Gaudapada and Shankara. And last 2-3 days, we were just entering into what exactly this Alaatha Shanti example. उतना तो हमको समझ में आ गया. At least you understood the mashal. Torch तो समझ गए. Torch has a fire at the end. समझ गए. Then you hold the firebrand torch stable. समझ गए. When you start moving it, different shapes come. That is the main topic. Now, those shapes which have come out of movement of the mashal, what is the position of it? This is a whole topic. In all occasions, what is the position of it in all occasions and from its own standpoint? This analogy or example is used for us also. Here, what is the comparison? The mashala or the torch is our own vijnanam, atma swarupata. Then all the Rujvakra Abhasa which are seen in the movement of the Alatha are the entire gross subtle causal worlds. Here this is Pandita, this is Pandita. This is first comparison. Alatha Spandanam Rujvakra Abhasa. Vijnana Spandanam Grahe Grahaka Abhasa. Grahe Grahaka Abhasa, I already told you. The Abhasa means imagination of Grahaka, the perceiver, Graha is perceived or perceiving. दो बताए तो तीसरा समझ लेना. The perceiver, perceived, the connection between them, or perceiving or perception. Spandana. Next, what is proved in those 5 shlokas is, yes, Alatha Spandita led to Rujvakra Abhasa. Clear? But what Shastra says, here we have to listen to the Shastra's ultimate sentence and also the Mahabrahmagnani sentence. Here, अपना लॉजिक दिमाग काम नहीं करेगा. In that one point, उनको हमें भरोसा करना ही पड़ेगा. What is that? Just listen absolutely carefully. Just be attentive 2 minutes. 2 minutes only. In the Alatha mood, Rujvakra Abhasa appeared. Clear? In the Vijnanamaya Atma, the Vijnanamaya Atma mood, then Grahe Grahaka called as the entire world appeared. Analogy. इतना बताकर नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या कह रहे? अकॉर्डिंग टू शास्त्र, दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड. अकॉर्डिंग टू शास्त्र and according to the Brahma Anubhavi, we attend to that Vijnana cannot move because ajachalam avastutvam. When it cannot move, be attentive. Then how can the abhasas appear of the grahya grahaka? When it cannot move, how can the grahya grahaka abhasa happen? Because when it moves, then only grahya grahaka. This we said by the example of अलाथ. अलाथ का एग्जाम्पल ने हमको यहाँ तक पहुँचाया. अब हमेशा अलाथ लेकर घूमने की जरूरत नहीं है. उसको अलाथ मारो, उसको छोड़ो. अब now come to this place. In the Vijnana moment, this world is appearing. When the Vijnana never moves, that is the ultimate authority. Therefore, when it is not moving, and where from the abhasas can be? They cannot be then. They were in reality, means from the standpoint of Vijnanam, which is immobile, can there be a possibility of the abhasa of the grahana grahaka happen? Be listen carefully because it is not moving. It is not possible. Stick to that. If you don't stick to that, means you don't accept it, means what? You are rejecting that law or principle and you are bound by giving reality to these abhasas by your choice. क्या होना है साधना में? In the Shuddha Atma, there is no kampanam. Therefore, there is no chance of be attentive. Grahya grahaka jagat or samsara nirmana. So what should do? The seeming spandana also, whatever is there, I drop it and discover the Atma, which is one without second, immobile. Therefore, there is no grahya grahaka samsara in that. That should be kept as goal and one should reach to. What we generally do is, that's what vasana, that is ignorance. We analyze everything, we understand everything. But what do? We can't accept the unmovability of the self. With the example of अलाथा हमको कहते हैं वो भी मूव हो रहा है इसलिए ग्राह्य ग्राहक है. ये ग्राह्य ग्राहक को है पकड़ के आप छोड़ना चाहते हो तो आप नहीं छोड़ सकते. हाउ टू छोड़ो उसको? नहीं है मान करी. हाउ? दे आर born out of spandana, but there is never a spandana. In some aspects, the knowledge goes on developing when you keep on contemplating. In some aspects, the knowledge is complete. If you extend it, you enter into ignorance. Here is the example. What is the meaning of it? It is said that with the spandana of the Vijnana, the world is created. Second, but the Vijnanatma does never the spandana. Therefore, the world is never created. This is the conclusion. You have to stop there. You have to sort it out in your meditation. Reach to that core in yourself which is not doing spandana. You yourself will see entire world is dissolved. What happens to us is we don't believe in that. We still say कि मैं को दिख रहा है ना जगत. हम जो कह रहे हैं ये जगत जो है स्पंदना से बट स्पंदना नहीं हो रहा तो वो जगत नहीं है. This is what the Karikakara standpoint. What do? जगत दिख रहा है इसलिए स्पंदना हो रहा है. जब स्पंदना real, जगत real is our problem. Because that example which helped us half will disturb us also half. What is the example? Alatha spandanam rujvakra abhasa. Here jagat abhasa, therefore chaitanya atma spandanam. So if you accept the spandana of chaitanya atma, then you have to accept the presence of grahi grahaka. Then Dvaita continues. Then Advaita Atma is denied there. So what is the answer given to? Two answers are given. Beautiful it is. We'll discuss it. I'm just giving an idea. One answer is what? This question has no answer. It is Achintyam. What is Achintyam here? Atma, when it moves, then the world appears. So world is appearing. Therefore Atma is moving. But Atma is such thing which never moves. Then how come never moving Atma is moving? And the moving Atma is creating Jagat. And this Jagat you say it is not there. This is what that Guru's tongue which we catch. This one answer gives. What is what? That is what we also can't explain. It is Achintya. But there is solution. What is the solution? You for some time, believe me, and reach to Achintya Atma. Or Aspandita Atma. Just itna karo mere liye. बाकी सब मैं जो तुम कहोगे वो करूंगा. This is how the Guru says. Really, when you reach to Aspanda Atma, you will not have a question because in that Aspanda Atma Anubhava of the self, because there is Aspanda, there is the world only. वह बिना पहुंचे यहाँ से करोगे आंसर नहीं होगा. That's how some people know when they know this fellow will never believe what I say. मुंह बंद कर एक खींच के ले जाके उसको दिखाते आ तू ही देख. That's why there's a big English quotation. You have to see to believe it. Self is like that. You have to experience to believe it. Otherwise, nobody can prove it to us. See the contradiction in the Guru's words only. What is the contradiction? The world is nothing but the projection out of the spandana in the Atma. One point. Second, the Atma can never become spandita. It is a contradiction at the grosser level. But the subtler level, this is the answer. We told the Atma Spandana led to Jagat to deny the reality given to the Jagat, which is a fact. Jagat is not real. It is Spandana of the Atma. That much only. Like Alaathas are not real. They are Ruchuvakra Abhas are not real. It is Spandana of Alaatha. That's what is the entire discussion we are going to have. So too, first point is Jagat is not real, it is Spandana of the Atma, therefore Jagat is denied. Now, if you accept the Spandana, then Jagat will be there. Then you have to reach to next step that Atma never becomes Spandita. Therefore, Jagat is denied. Atma is always there. So, without you coming to the Aspanda Atma level, I cannot answer your question of then how come the world is seen and taken as real. उधर पहुंचो तो ये होगा ही नहीं. It's like physics. You go to the energy level of the atom and subatomic particle, there's no world. अब ऊपर से बताओ there's no world, nobody accepts, like nobody accepts spirituality also. A scientist, physicist also can concretely, strongly say there's no world of names and form other than the energy in motion. Because every name and form has got atoms, the subatomic particle, finally it's energy in motion only. ये है ही नहीं उधर. But you and I cannot unless you study that atomic physics. That is atomic, this is atmic. थोड़ा ही फर्क है. That is atom jnana, it is atma jnana. 80 OM, 80 MA. One is this. Second one is what? Which was said in the second or third prakarana. In a different language, it is said here. What is that? Ki, the beautiful thing. It will come. The Karika, Bhashya, we are going to study. But I am just familiarizing what we are. Otherwise, we are absolutely blank. कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या एग्जाम्पल ले रहे, किस बात के एग्जाम्पल एक्सप्लेनेशन कर रहे. To sort out those things and create interest, we are just in introduction saying all this. The other thing what they say after 4-5 slokas only, not very far, is what? Very interesting, is what? In the second prakarana, what is said? This innocent Vidyarthi, when he goes to any guru, he is innocent. Goes to guru. Whatever that guru says, that he gets the bhavana. The one whoever is teaching him whatever, he does that bhavana. Like if you go to the Vaishnava Guru, he says Bhagavan is Vishnu only. No, his mind is conditioned as Vishnu only. No, he is innocent. He will not accept Shiva and others. So too a Shaivite. तो जिस गुरु के पास जाकर जो ट्रेनिंग लो, तुम्हारा दिमाग वैसा बनता है. This is what is the thing said there. In that, Guru means what? Anybody whose opinion we believe and say the world is real. So we are saying the world real today, not in the authority of our own inner confirmation. We are saying the world today because all gurus are living like that and telling us. Gurus mean the entire world, not the real Atma Guru. That was said there. Ki you are told by people, you believe them, so you are taking it as real. Here it is said little subtler. He says, in whatever the way you think the world is given to you or appearing like that, you are culprit. You say world asti to I hai, nasti hai to nahi hai. So to Paramatma nasti hai to you will never experience him. Asti hai to you will experience asti tyavapalaptavya tattvava prasidhati asti tyavapalaptasya tattva. You have seen Kathopanishad, no? See, here comes the final freedom given to us. It's a freedom, it's a choice. Using the freedom, if you take a right choice, you are liberated. Not using freedom but making a wrong choice, then we suffer. That's the thing he says. जितना गुरु लोग कुछ भी कहने के बावजूद भी आप जो मनमानी करते हो वही चलेगा आपके जीवन में. That's what is a beautiful thing that's happening in the world. So beauty as well ugly. Everybody has his own मनमानी. किसी को गुलाब पसंद, किसी को चमेली, किसी को गेंदा पसंद, किसी को मिठाइयाँ पसंद, किसी को नमकीन पसंद, किसी को करेला पसंद. Is it not everybody living according to their own choices? That's freedom being given to them. This is the Laukika Vyavaharika freedom. Spiritual freedom ke either, if you say the Jagat is existing, it exists for you. That's your freedom, your choice. Then when the Jagat exists, it will have its own rules. Then you have to be bound by those rules. If you keep on starting to reject the Jagat, then it will recede from you. And that substratum always is there whether you recognize or not, but it is hidden because the Jagat is seen by your choice. Now, by your choice, you reject the Jagat, that self which is hidden by the Jagat, the covering goes away, the self is revealed. That will be the explanation after 3-4 sloka. The three things. One is it is achintya manirvachaniyam. Second is you are misguided by the others. Third, you are misguided by yourself. About what? About the reality given to this world. And it is common sense also, okay, that day, when you come out house at 4 o'clock, enter home at 10:30 in the evening, go to 10 villages, meet hundreds of people, participate in dozen programs. So how many things were there for you in the world? So many, no? The other day you never came out of the house. No, what were there yesterday? Are they are what in your life? They're not there. Just be simple in this simple example it is. In the same way, think about mind. In the mind, if you imagine the world of sun, moon, star, everything are there. If they are not imagined, like in sleep, they are not there. किसी के जीवन में 100 दोस्त है, किसी में एक भी नहीं है, उसने अपने दिमाग बनाया 100 दोस्तों के लायक, therefore they are there. Other fellow never made it, therefore he is with himself, no friend to him. No, is what is real world? No friend वाला world real है कि 100 friend वाला world real है? Both are real to them and they made their world. That is final reality. So therefore, that is the example of the spider. Spider's example is incomplete but half complete. What is the incomplete completeness? The complete example of spider and me is spider makes its own web. I make my own web. The incomplete thing is in the web made by spider, spider is not bound. It can move anywhere, everywhere, its own choice. In fact, it can take the entire saliva of the web and he can go somewhere else. It has a freedom. But I, as a jiva, I will come into world and dehadi. I am not having freedom. That's why I am samsari and suffer. A Mahajnani yogi who conquered the Prakriti, he creates the world and he controls it. A person little higher than what is never creates the world, never gets bound. शादी करके सफर करने वाले हैं, शादी करके एंजॉय करने वाले हैं, बिना शादी किए खुशी में रहने वाले भी हैं. शादी एंड क्रिएशन आर सेम. कोई 3-3, 4-4 भी किए वाला है, किसी एक शादी 2 महीने में तलाक हो गई. ऑल वेराइटीज आर देयर, एवरी वेराइटी इज देयर ऑन सब्जेक्ट. So you can't generalize in this world, which is standardized. Therefore, that's another logic to say there is no standard in the world, therefore world is unreal. It is substandard. Hmm. Little subtle we become now. The second portion of this Alatha Shanti, we started from sloka number 49-50. First, in the example, when the mashal is held, no spandana, no rujuvakra abhasa. First, understand example. When the mashal or the torch is spandita or moved, definitely there are the rujuvakra abhasa in whatever the direction you are moving. In that, there are three things. One, those abhasas, rujuvakra, never came from somewhere else. Never go somewhere else when the movement stops. When the movement stops, they are attentive. Never enter into the alatha also. From the alatha, it never came. Because when the alatha is stable, it has not come. A movement may have. Even in the movement when alatha is there, the abhasas are there. What is the point is what? Listen carefully. Those have not come from anywhere other source, nor they have dravya in themselves, nor they have come from the alatha while they are existing, while they are seen. When the mashal is not moving, they are not seen, so question ही नहीं है. We have to answer when the alatha is in the movement, spandana, then those things are seen, what is their position. While being seen, we take it as real, but logic proves that is unreal. But I am seeing it, therefore, your seeing is with eye. That you take it as real. But there's a logic behind, intellect. From that standpoint, use. Now, where is the problem? This is the problem is whatever I see with the eye, smell with the nose, hear with the listen, I take it as real. This is the problem. That is the over trust given to the upadhi, and that is what is binding us, Baba. After all, who is showing me the world in Paramatma? Upadhi only. So either Upadhi is helpful friends to me or troubling enemies to me. They're troubling enemy. If I don't accept it, then I become friendly, like in the samsara. So the one who eats away our money, takes us into all unwanted nonsense program, he looks to be very friendly to us. But other fellow who is little philosophical, spiritual, controls you in your values, dharma, he is even a dushman. It is your bhavana, you are doing it. You are in wrong notion there. And many of us live like that. दो चार हमारे फ्रेंड्स हैं जो सत्संगी टाइप, वी डोंट बी फ्रेंडली विथ देम, बट अदर दारू दवा पीने वाले उनके साथ रहते हैं. We made ourselves like that. In the same way, we made ourselves in such a personality to believe what Indriyas show as real, and then only it is real. And when Indriyas show something, it is real only, it can't be otherwise. Whereas Indriyas are so gross, dependent, they can't work without the mind behind. Therefore, the mind and intellect and the thinking and logic of the intellect should be given more value importance rather than senses. Otherwise, example with eyes, when you see the doctor is cutting the patient, the cutting patient is eye seeing it. If you believe the eye seeing, then the doctor is a criminal murderer there. But what do? We just use the buddhi and logic. He's a doctor, why will he cut and murder? He must be operating. He is operating वाला आपके आंख ने दिखाया क्या? आंख से ऐसा देखना बाद में आपने शुरू किया, जब इंटेलेक्ट ने उनको गाइड किया कि ये डॉक्टर है. दिस आर ऑल लॉजिक्स. वो मारता नहीं है, तारता है. फिजिकली इज कटिंग, बट ही इज ओनली ट्रीटिंग. Sometimes even patient can die also. And there is no treatment physically seen by the eye. What is seen by the only cutting, removing, again canted Allah. But he is doing all that for saving patient is a concept in the understanding. And it is a fact. It is a higher fact. And it happens also when he does surgery, removes the blocks and all. Really the patient running? So no, I have answered. What we are trying to say is not believing what you see by senses. They're cheats. You have to know it as we want to become subtler in our logic. Else, our questions ever remain. What is that? But मुझे जगत दिख रहा है. अरे बेवकूफ, दिख रहा है आंखों को, दिमाग से सोचो, और नहीं है परमात्मा ही. Why this happens? Deha is real, Jagra Jagat is real, in that the bhogas are wonderful. Into that thing we have entered. That is called as moha. That is called as the samsara ka nasha. जिसको नशा चढ़ता है ना, वो will he leave that? They are drug addicts, they are drink addicts, they are TV addicts, they are cell phone addicts, is it not? We are all samsara addicts. Be careful about it. बट संसार एडिक्ट है, हम यहीं घूमते रहेंगे, इधर ही एडजस्ट करते रहेंगे. वी डोंट वांट टू थिंक एंड सी बियॉन्ड. दैट्स व्हाई दैट ग्रेट भजन, व्हाट यू सी एंड व्हाट यू फील एंड व्हाट यू थिंक इज नॉट इनफ. सी बियॉन्ड एंड सी अबव थ्रू योर इंटेलेक्ट. नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण. An English version. Your emotions apart, then stand apart and watch them. That was the topic also today morning, the Sakshi Bhav. Don't think this world as real. You are a Sakshi. Actually, that is reality. That you are living and you are become one with it. इसलिए गीता में our mind alone is mitra, our mind alone is shatru. Controlled mind is mitra, controlled by mind, that mind which controls us is our shatru. Relate this and that topic. So what is the example? अलाथ में आंख से दिख रहा लेकिन लॉजिक से ट्रू नहीं है. Then you have to give importance value to the logic. Then you will say it is seen but not real. That's why the जादू का example, सांप का example, they're all talking about that only. बेटा आपके आंख से लगता है सांप है, दिमाग से सोचो तो सांप तेरे पास आके क्यों मरेगा? उसको पता है तो उससे ज्यादा जहरीला है. Why will you think at the 10th floor of building? So use करो brain. No, 11th floor, the snake charmer lives. He told me yesterday I missed one of my snake. Ha ha. What we have to do? Even when the Rujvakrabhas are seen, yet they are not real. How? Remember, they have not come from anywhere. They have not gone anywhere. They never entered into the Alatha and they never came from also Alatha. Still, just because of movement of it, it is seen. See, ऐसा एग्जाम्पल क्लिक होना और देना to prove his own ultimate point of Ajatavada, also a genius only. And example itself is how beautiful. The analysis of the example is how beautiful. In that, you can see how perfectly the thinking is kept under the beautiful clarities and boundaries. Especially that thought, ki that spandita, that Rujuvakra Abhasa have not come from anywhere. When it moved, stopped the movement, I have not got anywhere. So coming from other source, going into other source is denied. That is half achievement of its non-existence. If I had come from somewhere and gone into somewhere, if you accept, then something else is there from where it came and accept, इसकी reality और बढ़ जाती. When you don't see it is coming from anywhere or going into anywhere, nor into the Alatha, and he's not doing jute there. Karika Kara will giving example. झूठ नहीं बोल रहे, तुम खुद ही देखो यार. In Vedanta, there is no manipulation, no jhuta. Whatever is spoken is a direct experiential truth of the saints. We will find it as true when we experience. They never speak a झूठ. की जरूरत ही नहीं है, झूठ है ही नहीं इस जगत में. जो भी कहते हैं सत्य है तत्व के बारे में. And nor it has gone, this abhasas, nor gone into that. Like I give an example, keep stage empty, audience seated, announcement done, dance program begins. Suddenly from the green room, they come, music played, they dance. Then music is over, program is over, they go back. So from somewhere they came, went into somewhere. In this way, these Ujvakravas have not come from somewhere else, not gone somewhere else. If that is denied, so then it is here only. Here is only one thing, mashal. That's alatha. It has never come from alatha, it never gone into alatha. Therefore, this also denied. Now, third final denial, which you were asking the other day, is what? The itself, the object called as Rujuvakra Abhasas, they have no dravya in them, no matter in them that you can hold on to, that you can calculate it, that you can measure it, that you can talk about it. द्रव्य तो अभाव है उसमें. द्रव्य तो अभाव इज सच ए अल्टीमेट थॉट टू से कि द्रव्य नहीं है तो वस्तु ही नहीं होगा. देखो द्रव्य नहीं है, वस्तु है ही नहीं, बट दिख रहा है. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. जो दिखने वाले चीजों को बिलीव करने में, दैट व्हिच इज सीन, ट्रस्टिंग दैट हैज ओवरपावर्ड सो मच दैट वी आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग द लॉजिक व्हिच इज 95% denying. Only the I, which is 5% seeing, it is accepting. Which is to be voted now? 95% logical it is not there. 5% let it be there for व्यवहार if you want. और उस अलाद से व्यवहार भी क्या होता है बताओ? It doesn't add to any रोशनी because it's not having द्रव्य. Now this example you will enjoy really when you put off all the lights at night time and tell somebody to move those agarbatti or some mashal and you see all the abhas. And unless the example is thoroughly understood, to convey what the example is given, into that we can't enter. No. We will say what is said in the example, same thing what is said in Paramatma also we will say, then we will take a mantras. Only for the third refreshing study. In the example what is said, abhasas are seen, Rujuvakra. That much only. Other than that, abhasas are not at all existing. Because they have no dravya, one reason. They have not come and gone from anywhere else. Third, nor they have come from this mashal or this one torch. Example is this much. They are seen but non-existent. Seen because you are aankhon se dekh rahe ho, keh rahe ho. But non-existent because of three logics. No dravya, never came from somewhere else and gone into somewhere else, nor came even from mashal. It has not come from that. It has not entered into that. Like when you play carom board, you take the coins from the dabba. हो गया तो उसमें डालते हो. इस तरह से these Rujuvakra Abhas have not come from masal. Listen 3-4 times this sentence. They have not come from the torch. They have not entered into torch. It is over. Like the coins came out of the dabba, chess coins, when you took out down, after that you have put it back. Same is Paramatma. The whole Jagat is equal to Rujuvakra Abhas. Okay? The whole Jagat is equivalent to Rujuvakra Abhasas. So, Rujuvakra are the Abhasas in the example. The entire Jagat is Abhasa in the Vedantic thought. Entire Jagat in this Karikas, the Bhagavan has put in 2 words. One me, the Grahaka. Second is the Grahya. Grahana, I think. Grahana Grahyaka Bhava used. So, Grahana Grahaka. See, remember it. So, I am the Grahaka, I am doing Grahana. Naturally, you do the Grahana. The Grahya. We have to deny the Grahya only. That is why he used Grahana instead of Grahya. Okay, who are there? 3 hona chahiye. I am the Grahaka. The Vastu is Grahya. And I am doing the Grahana. Perceiver, perceived, perceiving, or perception. Here, perceived, he is not talking. He is saying only 2 things are there. Perceiver and perception. Perception is not possible without perceived. That is common sense. But that perceived is not there is our goal. Therefore, he is using such a double common sense that he is not using the word perceived. He is using only 2 words. By using that word, he is saying when I said perceived, perception, you have to already accept perceived. Without perceived, perception kahan se hoga? Yet he has not used the word only to say later on anyway I am going to deny it. So therefore, what is there in my life? Me, the world, the experiences of the world. This everybody says. But at the Karika Karas level, he says, me, my experiences are there, world is not there. Because Unless the experience is there, you can't say world is there. Therefore, experience is only are the world. That's why it's called grahana grahyaka. Grahana means experience. Grahaka means experiencer. Grahya is the experience. That is not touched. That's not very important point. I'm just telling you the beauty of the Karikakaras way of writing, his style. पॉइंट वो हमारा नहीं है, वो क्यों लिखा नहीं, क्या है उसको समझना है. Two things are there. Grahana, experience, Grahaka, is the experiencer. So the Grahana Grahaka makes the entire world, which we are seeing, which we are experiencing. This is Abhasa, like the Rujuvakra Abhasa. Now there, the Alatha Spandanam made the Abhasas appear. The Abhasa means only appearance. So to here, the Vijna Anatma Spandanam made the appearance of the Ahamidam Vritti. The Aham Vritti is the Grahaka, the Idam Vritti is Grahanam. Idam Vrittika experience is Grahanam. Okay? Now here in the analogy, that is where we have to focus. Very subtle it is, not easy. Oh, तो बहुत जन्म का योग करो तो ये होता है. क्या है? What was said in the example? Those things have not come, the Rujuvakra Abhasa, from somewhere else and not gone into somewhere else. In the same way, the entire, the Grahaka me, the Grahana, the experiences me, remember, have not come from any other thing other than Atma and not gone into something else called as Atma, something other than Atma. That is, let us say, in the example of sleep. Here, the stopping masala movement is equal to, let us tentatively say, sleep. They have not gone somewhere else, never came from somewhere else. So, somewhere else other than Atma is totally rejected. Now, only one option is there, what? From the Atma only, the Grahana Grahaka should come. Okay. Now, here, in the example also, from the torch, they have not come, because movement only it came. Here also, from the self they have not come. From the movement of the self they came. Similarity? They came bhi nahi hai, appeared. Let's not say they have come. The movement of the torch made it to appear. So to the movement of the self made it to appear. But actually the self is not moving now. Now we come to pure Vedanta. Actually, the Paramatma is achalam. Because for it to move, there should be space inside or outside. There is no space for it to move because according to the Vedanta of Shastra, Paramatma is Purnam. When it is Purnam or Sarva Vyapakam, how can it move? The mashal is you are able to move because it is conditioned, it is limited. It is not everywhere in space. Therefore, you are able to move it. सेम मशाल यू पुट इन ए डब्बा एंड अंदर मूव करो, मूव करेगा वो नहीं, डब्बे के साथ मूव करना पड़ेगा, बट विद इन डब्बा इट कांट मूव बिकॉज इट इज कवर्ड, full it is covered. So to the self is everywhere it is there, wherever there is no place where it is not there. So how can it move? The movement is denied. Okay, then direct meaning is one, when the movement of the self is denied, immediately grahana grahaka appearance is denied. Be careful about this point. Then the next two thoughts are very crucial, very essential. Now we have to negotiate. What is negotiation? Key, but I am seeing the world. Self is not moving. Without self movement, the world cannot be seen. But I am seeing it. In between, one thing is there. That is what. What is that? What is moving is not self. Then what is moving is the chitta. Remember that. Chitta is the moving because of which the grahana grahaka bhava is coming. Now, what is chitta? If this is understood, everything understood. Chitta is that feeling in us in which the unmoved self is felt like moving. That is called avidya. The unmoved self is felt like moving is called chitta. That is why when you focus on the motionless self, we enter into that. The experience at that time is there is no chitta. There is no chitta, then there is a movement in chitta. There is no grahana grahaka. So chitta, pure consciousness, be attentive. Accepted as moving is called a chitta. Chitta, movement is called a grahana grahaka. And that grahana is of the world, therefore the grahya jagat came. These are all appearances. Like the ocean in motion is wave, so too the chitta in motion is called world. And what is chitta? The acceptance of the mobility of the self which never moves. What do you mean by that acceptance? Called ignorance. Never my ignorance. Now, last sentence for the day. My ignorance that I am the self, which is everywhere there, never cannot move. My ignorance of this thing is making the chitta be born in me. And that chitta, because it has come out of the avidya, though from the self, has inherently the ability to move in its movement. The subsequent grahana grahaka appearances are happening. Mind you, whatever you speak, the main thing what is said is appearance. आभास को कभी नहीं छोड़ना. जगत is आभास. Jiva is Paramatma ka Chidabhas. The entire Jagat is Paramatma ka Sattabhasa, and we the Jivas are is Chit Abhas. Sat Chit ka Abhas is Jagat hai pura. Abhasa is not real, Abhasa is appearance. Like a door made out of the wood. Door is not real. Please remember. Start doing these practices. Door is an appearance on the wood. Before the door was made, the wood was there. When the door is made into pieces, wood will be there. Door in between is an abhasa. Though it is talked as door, though it is used for closing the room, though you feel it is secure when you are inside, when you go out, you can lock it. Yes, a vyavahar ki utility. Yet the door is mithya. It is abhasa on the wood. All the walls are mithya. Though it is appearing, though it is making a room, though it is giving you security. In this way, 100 examples when you take and keep on thinking, then we will see the perceptions, experiences may be real, but that doesn't mean the things involved are real. At the higher logical level. Logic, Shastra, Dhyana. When you use these three, you come to the Anubhava. What is the Anubhava? That which was said by logic, Shastra. What is that? The only Brahma is there, Jagat is not even born in that. फाइनल थॉट इज आभास का भी संभव नहीं है कि वो चित्त चैतन्य परमात्मा हिलता नहीं है वो अपने दैट्स कॉल्ड इट इज अच्युत इट विल नॉट फॉल फ्रॉम इट्स स्टेटस इवन टू बिकम चित्त चित्त स्पंदित ओनली द वर्ल्ड चित्त स्पंदन ही नहीं हो सकता आत्मा में. Now, what is to be required? Then, one, I have to get rid of dukkha. Second, I have to get into ananta ananda. Dukkha is on samsara. So, you have to come out of samsara. Samsara is in chitta. Chitta is in the atma. So, dukkha, samsara ko chod ke chitta mein aao. Chitta ko chod ke atma mein jao. You are liberated. This is what Adhyatmic sadhana is. That is why this world is made of duality. Because the duality only I am suffering. Till this conviction doesn't come, I'll not inquire that is this real duality real, that I'll always suffer, that there is no liberation. To that person only, the next thing, the both dualities in your own chitta is appealing. One wants to be healthy. To him only the medicine is appealing, no? If he doesn't want to become healthy, he just says मैं खा खा के मरूंगा लेकिन मैं उसको मेडिकल सब्जेक्ट ही उसको पसंद नहीं आएगा. A person not interested to be guided. All क्या होते हैं उनको counseling will be waste only. Someone who doesn't want to give up the drinks and all, how much or counseling you do you not? If he says यार मेरे को बुरा आदत है मैं छोड़ना चाहता हूँ तो गाइड करो उसको बिठा के हम गाइड कर सकते हैं. In the same way, that is why Viveka and Vairagya. You understand? That the mithyatva of the jagat, bandhana karana of the jagat, when you accept it, then only we get Vairagya from jagat. After getting Vairagya, still the jagat goes troubling us. At that time, spirituality helps us. What do we think spirituality means? We think spirituality means which helps us to negotiate and adjust in the jagat to be freed from the continuous problems imposed by the jagat, which is impossible. Spirituality means the one who has understood jagat is mithya and yet not able to come out. He is asking Guru how to come out. Now Guru gives techniques. With all the following of those techniques, he transcends that problematic world which he already accepted as problem. जो जगत को प्रॉब्लम नहीं समझता वो साधक नहीं है. Spiritual sadhaka means he knows that I am suffering in the dual world. Then he wants to come out of it. Then the sadhana. Many of us don't have it. That's why all of us go to the Lord, do upasana, only kamya karmana, kamya upasana, and you get only things of the world, and you get them definitely. And that is what is binding us. Therefore, by choice, you are binding ourselves by asking the world. Why? We don't know that we are like child. He goes near the fire. He doesn't know that fire burns him. Like that child is doesn't aware, not aware of burning. So do you and I are not aware that the vasanas, these desires and the indulgence in the world is the cause of all samasya. This conviction till it doesn't come, the sadhaka in me is not born. And it has nothing to do with how many studies you have done, how many classes you have gone through. It may help if you take the help. Therefore, in nutshell, the result of all Shravana should be the world is unreal, taken as real, it is binding me. I should reach to a level where the world is unreal, self alone is real. लाइक राग द्वेष दुख के कारण है, प्रेम ही मुक्ति का कारण है। देखो मैं पूरे विश्व में किसी के प्रति राग द्वेष नहीं रखता हूँ, सबको प्रेम करता हूँ। ये क्लैरिटी है, देन ओनली यू विल पुट योर एफर्ट रियली टू एलिमिनेट द डिजीज ऑफ राग द्वेष, एंटर इनटू मेडिसिन ऑफ द प्रेम, देन यू आर लिबरेटेड। दैट्स व्हाट द गुरुस, they have thousands of people around them, they don't have raga dvesha to anyone, therefore there is no samsara, and they have prema for everyone, therefore they love them. So they understood, they practiced, they reached. That is that example regarding Ragadesha Prema. Extended is what? The acceptance of the world that it is a real and there is Sukha. This is the ignorance. World is appearing and it is appearing to be good, and therefore it is appearing to be tempting me. I should not go. Like when you are intelligent in your shoppings, when somebody puts something in front of you and keeps talking too much about it, you understand कि ये चीज़ उतनी कीमत वाली नहीं है, वो मेरे को फंसा रहा है, मुझे बकरा बना रहा है, and you say मेरे को पता है सब, don't. Please understand, our own mind हमको बकरा बना रहा है. How? By making the world appear, by making the world appear as real, by making the world appear as real with the sukha in that, they would have a desire for it and go for it. Even while I speak this, I may not be fully convinced about it. Even while I am speaking to that, you are listening with both the ears. Still, you may not nod the head yes karke. That is the power of Maya. That is why Ishvara Kripa. That He will make us accept what we have understood. It's understood but not accepted. फिर भी वाला बात आता है. और फिर भी क्या है, समझ गया तो? It's understood when I eat sugar, I'll become diabetic. But I don't accept it. फिर भी कुछ ना कुछ तरीके से खा ही लेता हूँ मैं. This is where takes time for us. Knowing the self is never difficult because it is in you, it is you. Turning toward the self is. That's why Kaschit Dhira Pratyagatmana Vaistvat. The Dhirata is not in his effort to see the self. His Dhirata is in Avrutta Chakshuhu Amrutattva Vichyan. In closing his eyes, that means senses, that means mind, which are projecting the world of emotions and the forms names. That is difficult. That's why Paranchikani Vetruna Swayambhu. Parang question Nadra. Therefore, the three activities of Maya kya hai? One, it projects the world. Second, it projects you, your Indriyas. Third, it creates such an affinity between them that we don't withdraw from them to focus on the self. That is Maya. When you pray to the Lord, become Upasaka, first thing is involving in the world gets reduced. Second, when the Indriyas are used more and more for the Lord, then their effect will be less because to know the Lord, Indriyas are not required. It is your own self. Therefore, they get disappeared. Then you reach the self. That is the meaning of Mamevaye Prapadyante. Mamaye Prapadyante means this. That's how when you become subtler in your Vedanta, the shlokas of Gita Upanishad start giving very sublime, beautiful meaning. So I didn't chant a shloka today, but all the essence we saw. The द्रव्यत्व भाव से लेकर लॉजिक शुरू होगा, पावरफुल वाला, वो हम आपको टच कराएंगे. लेट अस चैंट दिस मंत्र. रुजु वक्रादिकाभासम अलात स्पंदितम यथा ग्रहण ग्राहकाभासम विज्ञान स्पंदितम तथा. हो गया. अस्पंदमानम आलातम अनाभासमजम यथा अस्पंदमानम विज्ञानम अनाभासमजम तथा. दिस आल्सो एक्सप्लेन. अलाते स्पंदमाने वै When the Alatha is doing Spandana, na Abhasa Anyato Bhuvaha, they have not come from somewhere else. Na Tata Anyatra Nispandat, nor they have gone somewhere else when the Spandana stopped. Na Alatham Pravisantite, nor they entered Alatha. Same is, and na Nirgata Alatha Te. The only last point has to be understood is they have not come from the Alatha also. Na Nirgata Alatha Te. Why? Dravyatva Abhava Yogataha. In those Rujuvakravasa, there is no Dravya. There's a matter in it. That Yogataha means this is the logic. There's no Dravya in them. There's no matter. It's only appearance. Same thing you have to understand about the whole world which is seen. In this world, any corner of the world, final aspect of the world, when you go, you will touch the self only. Other than the self, there's no matter in this world. And self has no form or the name. Then where from the matter with names and forms can come? Cannot. The acceptance is spirituality. This acceptance should push away, reject away all the earlier wrong notions which we are holding on to. So the wrong notion is samsara, the right understanding is mukti. Understanding is not notion. सब जगह पे आत्मा है, आत्मा मैटर नहीं है. फिर मैटर नहीं है आत्मा से तो आभास नहीं आएगा, और मैटर तो है ही नहीं है, फिर कहाँ से आया जगत नाम रूप का? फिर this portion which we discussed in the last 1 minute, the absence of this knowledge is the creation of the world. Ever you gain the knowledge, you become established in that knowledge, you will experience the self alone. It has never become matter, therefore it can never become the world, because for the world to appear, it should have a matter. There's no matter in the world. When you exhaustively experiment on it, every nook and corner, what is there is self. Self is not dravya. That will be proved in the subsequent slokas. सेल्फ कोई द्रव्य नहीं है. वो द्रव्य नहीं होने के कारण सेल्फ में आत्मा नहीं, जगत नहीं हो सकता. अब द्रव्य नहीं है तो जगत भी नहीं हो सकता. From the self there has no matter came to create the world. Therefore there is no world. Self is not a matter. Therefore the world has never came from the self. What if there is only self? Then how come all this is done? Not having this knowledge, which we said just now. Then gain this knowledge and establish, go beyond the world, see the self, establish. This is a solution. If you ask too many questions, but still why it appeared, this is what achintyam. This is not only non-answerable question, it is the stupid question. Don't ask. Don't hold on to that. But why I got bimari? It's your bevakufi. Take medicine and get sweat. This is called again the ego, which wants the answer to the question which has no answer and never wants to practice that which is solution for all problems. That is subjective. जब तक वो पकड़ के रहोगे संसार में रहोगे. That's what we do. How much our guru does bodha, we live according to our own choice. We never come out of samsara. Just to think, okay, I will not follow what I say, what I want, but I will follow what guru says. Your liberation started. It's only a question of some time. They are the very sublime things. Put together is called Vedanta. And we will touch it tomorrow. Okay? Let us chant today. Mantra number 51. Vijnane spandamane vai nabhasanyato bhavaha na tatonyatra nispandat na vijnanam vishantite na nirgataste vijnana dravyatva bhava yogadaha karya karanata bhava adyato achintya sadaivate na nirgataste vijnana dravyatva bhava yogadaha karya karanata bhava यतो अचिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो अचिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो अचिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो अचिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो अचिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो चिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो चिंत्या सदैवते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभाव योगतः कार्य कारणताभावात् यतो चिंत्या सदैवते The two things, only conclusion. Self is real, whether you accept or not. World is not there, whether you accept or not. When you reject self, self is not there. When you accept the world is there. When you reject the world is not there. When you accept the self, self is there. This much is pure ultimate Vedanta. Your acceptance or denial of the self or the world is not the cause for the world to exist and self not to exist. But your rejection of self and acceptance of the world is cause for your samsara. That is pakka. So you want to come out of the samsara, you change yourself. What is that? Accepting the world of real, usko ulta kar do. Then the world, the self is rejected. Usko ulta karo. What ulta? World is unreal, Paramatma is real. Keep on doing this. Is called abhyas. This is called Atma abhyasa. This is called Brahma abhyasa. You will see the world going away. Without doing that, self is never realized, world is never withdrawn, and never will come out of samsara. You may do it for millions of lives. Essence. Om, 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 Om. Today's thought of Sakshi Shakti is very, very essential. Let us slowly start becoming that. It has many things to be added, but I said whatever can be understood by the general public. From the Vedanta standpoint, just by being Sakshi only, you get bliss, self bliss, and get out of the blisters of the world. But with our Rajoguna in us, we can't do that. We want to poke ourselves everywhere. That's what is causing problem. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Paramarshibhyo Namaha Brahmane Namaha Shatimatriyam Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu Mandukamarshi Gaudapadacarya Varya Adi Shankarat Gurave Namaha Asmat Guru Bhyo Namaha